Ricochet.
Get balls into the goal for points.
Hey guys, Jarek and Komodo here, playing the new game mode just added into Halo 4 called Ricochet. In this game mode, the way they describe it is kind of vague. All they say is throw the skull into the goal to earn points, and that's really the whole amount of information they tell you, so you kind of got to figure it out when you first start playing, but it's overall very, very simple. It only took me about a quarter of a game to figure out what I was doing. So here's how it works. You got a regular team deathmatch map, and there's about 1 of 4 spawns where a skull could spawn. And there's only 1 skull on the whole map, so each team is going for this 1 skull. And the enemy team has their own goal area that they're supposed to protect. You can either throw the skull into the goal area, or you can run it in. If you throw the skull into the goal area, you get 20 points. If you run it in, you get 50. Throwing it in is a little bit easier, but you can intercept that, and the enemy player will instantly catch it if it touches them, so it's also risky to do that, but it is simpler and a lot easier. Or if you run it in, it's obviously harder, but you'll get more points and it's more worth it. It kind of depends on the situation. Right here I had no chance, so I just decided to throw it. And my teammate picked it up, and I believe he threw it in like an idiot. He could have ran it in, but he didn't. So yeah, that's really it. It's really simple. The power-weapons they don't work like they did for the ordnance drops. There's no ordnance drops. They kind of spawn. Each power-weapon has their own spawn on the map. There's 2 swords for each team. There's 2, in this specific case, incinerator cannons. I may have gotten that wrong. There might have been a binary rifle on one side and an incinerator cannon on the other. But the power weapons work like in previous Halo games, just more of them. But yeah, it's really fun. This is the most fun I've had in Halo 4 in a very long time, and if you haven't played this, go ahead and try it.
It reminds me a lot of like those like futuristic sports games you'd see in like movies and such.
This is Halo 4's Tron. And this is a good example of throwing it. These guys easily should have killed me. They could have. It was like the moment I let go of the ball, they just forgot I existed, and that guy face-planted against the wall.
Smooth.
I don't know if you've seen that death animation before, but if you do that death animation on an upward hill, it looks really, really weird. But yeah, those guys easily could have killed me, and they should have, which is why I threw the ball and got 20 points. See, if I wasn't able to throw it, then I wouldn't have got anything, so throwing it is pretty much a key component of this. And the way they have this set out, I really like it. With Grifball, it almost seems like an obvious Halo version of rugby. With this, it really does kind of feel like Halo's own sort of goal sport. It doesn't really feel like anything else. It has its own sort of inspirations from other sports that have all kind of combined to feel pretty unique and actually really fun.
I like it. I'd actually play this. I mean, I play Grifball too, but...
Well, I play Grifball. I like Grifball, but I definitely think I like this a little bit more. And it's pretty competitive. I can easily see, if this catches on, I can easily see this having some tournaments for this. And, yeah, when the enemy team's doing well, it can be kind of frustrating, to be honest, because it's pretty well balanced, and when you're losing, you don't know what the fuck to do. And those guys could have, again, easily killed me, so I threw it in. I should have ran it in if I knew they were going to be dumb. But yeah, if the enemy team's doing well, it's kind of frustrating. It's so balanced that if the enemy team has some teamwork, you don't stand much of a chance. Which can get frustrating, but hey, I respect them for doing that, because that's what I expect out of a quote-unquote competitive multiplayer game.
That's what you should expect in any game where there's teams.
Yeah, unfortunately that doesn't work. Let's take the Call of Duty approach, where,
oh god,
you know, they may try to balance in the guns as well as they can, but with perks screwing that up as much as possible, and some of the guns ultimately end up not being balanced in any way.
Oh, ow.
Yeah, suddenly pink eye from across the map, and the guy goes, as soon as he shot me, he was just gone. But yeah, we've described this enough. Let's go ahead and move on to the questions. If you want us to answer your question, put a question down below in the comments, and I will try to answer it in the future video when I do a voiceover. I haven't done a whole lot of voiceovers. Apparently Payday 2 got an update, so you may be seeing a little bit less of voiceovers, so be a little patient. If I don't answer your question, don't try to take it personally. I don't remember what the question we were going to ask. Oh, right. What do you think of free-to-play games? I think this person specifically asked, what do you think of free-to-play games on PC? That's kind of specific, but, you know, it really depends. It ultimately does depend. Oh, and by the way, I figured out that you can kill your own teammates. Oops.
Good job.
Well, there was no team killing in previous team deathmatch type stuff, but apparently in the team stuff like this, there's some team killing. You can also team kill and grip ball, so I probably should have thought that through.
Yeah.
Alright, so free-to-play games. This really, really depends. Free-to-play games can be absolutely terrible, or they can be great. A very good example of that is Warframe. Warframe's a really fun game, and I actually probably should play that a little bit more. I might do a live stream of that. Raptor really likes playing it.
I'll download it again.
Yeah, I never deleted it. It's still on my hard drive. I just haven't played it in a long while.
I'm sorry, I saw you run that in, and I saw it said goal, and I instantly thought, those, like, Hispanic...
That's what he does, too. The announcer does that.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's the best thing.
But yes, you were saying Warframe, free-to-play games?
Oh, one more thing about the game. When you run this into the goal, it'll explode. It shouldn't kill you, but people were shooting me there. See, massive explosion, and I was just getting shot. So, if you throw it in, it won't explode like that. Or at least I don't think it does. I may be incorrect.
It does explode. I saw it.
Oh, well then I'm incorrect. Right, for free-to-play games, they're either great, because I think a really good platform for free-to-play games are co-op games. Because in co-op games, I'm not going to say balance means nothing, because it still means something. If you feel overpowered, that can kind of ruin the feel of the game. But when it comes to competitive multiplayer shooters, free-to-play games have been absolutely terrible. I mean, it becomes pay to win. Obviously, no one likes pay to win, and that can entirely ruin a game. But Warframe did a very good job with not making anything feel overpowered or feeling like you need to buy something to win or buy something to contribute to your team. So, I think they did a pretty good job with it, and it ultimately depends on the developer and their take on it. If they're just trying to make as much money as possible... Oh, and that's another use for throwing the ball. That guy knew he wasn't going to survive, so he just threw the ball off the cliff. So we couldn't get it, which is a smart thing to do. But yeah, it depends on their approach. Warframe, it's pretty obvious the developer really wants to make a good game and not just try to cash in as much as possible. So...
Somebody didn't like you.
Yeah, I couldn't see that guy. I couldn't get away. There was no way I was going to win there, but oh well.
I'm going to go ahead and agree with you there. I like a free-to-play game when the aspect of buying things in the game enhances it rather than rules it. Like you said, Warframe, a lot of the things you can buy, but really a lot of the things in the game that you'd want to make, like the frames, the weapons, all that stuff, you can make. It just takes time. And really the only
And it doesn't take too much time. That's the other thing.
Yeah, the only reason you would be like playing or paying for anything in that game is if you want to get it faster. But then there's games like Fulfy play this a lot. What is it? APB.
Oh god, I hate that game.
He's told me that it's all pay to win, basically.
Pretty much.
And I've played it, and yeah, I kind of die a lot and don't even know why, and I can't kill anyone.
Yeah, and another good example of grinding is Tribes Ascend. That game was almost killed because it took too long to unlock anything, and you basically had to buy stuff. Anyway, there's been some more Halo 4. Hope you enjoyed it. This game was overall, like I said, give it a try. It's a lot of fun.